Hey.
I don't know if you wanted to crack your beer or not. You're holding it up against the mic. I'm like,
there we go. Yeah, we normally say hello
beer.
and then I do it.
I let him crack your beer there. I was trying trying to be a good friend.
You know what's fun?
What's fun?
Poker.
Poker's fun.
Had a lot of poker this weekend.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us all about that.
I will tell you all about it as long as you remember to do it.
There's a little nasty Nelly.
I told you, and I told you what the time was.
That's why I reminded you. Let's start the show.
In the land of Bowie, Maryland, bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello.
Mel sucked on the wrong side of her vape pen and I caught her.
Okay.
Welcome to the DU Football Show. Injury time.
Hello and welcome to Injury Time. A completely biased preview of the weekend's action is told by two common American schmucks.
Or the last time?
I am me. He is he. She's hanging with Tally.
No, I am fine. By the way,
Pressing buttons.
To dispel the rumors that were happening in the chat, and I'm going to edit it out so they won't hear it on the other show, so it doesn't matter. When you said beefy, beefy show, all I had in my head was beefy, beefy, beefy. So when you asked me how I was, I went moo. And then you were like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, then carry on.
Yeah, it was
like, I'm done.
like most of Graham's dad jokes, it didn't hit.
And that's fine. I took a swing.
But there
and
was
it
no
missed.
context at all.
Right.
was
You
the
said beefy like 6 minutes prior.
No, it was 6 seconds.
I meant to say brief recap, but I said beef
Oh, you said
recap.
beefy
I
recap.
thought you repeated beefy.
I did repeat beefy. You're right. Now I remember
So
when it
he
happened.
said beefy, and then you said beefy, and so then I went moo. And then I'm getting messages from Short Billy going, wow, you really are far gone. Oh, she's not sober. And I'm like, y'all, I just
Do
took a
you want to
swing.
get high?
I am fine. I'm now second guessing. I didn't open my cider. I'm now so second guessing.
Fuck your couch.
I
Black
took
magic
a swing.
motherfuckers.
I took a swing, and y'all left me hanging, and I was like, all right, fine, carry on then.
Okay.
Moo.
All right, so
I didn't understand it.
Now do you understand it?
Now I do. I forgot we said beefy.
So
It was only
before
a few seconds before.
That's why we're so good at this.
it's Landon Donovan. What do you mean I wasn't at the World Cup?
Dude, what did I didn't make the squad? What
I
squad?
was at the World Cup. What are you talking about? I'm always at the World Cup. That's how it goes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Moo, motherfucker.
The only person that would ever displace me would be Hat Trick Rick.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Injury Time, man.
Yeah, hello. So obviously we're going to let you, before we get into fantasy, we'll let you talk about your poker escapades. But Tegan, so she went up for the tournament. She start for JV, and they started using her for varsity before.
She started for both.
Okay.
Varsity was actually first. The starting varsity goalkeeper was not there for some prior commitment that she couldn't get out of for whatever reasons. Preseason doesn't really matter necessarily. In terms of the team, and they know her, and she was started varsity last year.
Right.
So as a freshman.
Oh, the other keeper.
The
was
other
a
keeper
freshman?
did,
Okay.
yeah. And apparently she's decent, but her passion is ice hockey. And they know that, and she frequently misses practice for her very competitive women's ice hockey team.
Got it.
Kind of thing.
Well, if you're going to have someone that's going to show up every fucking week and put in the training, maybe somebody else plays goalie if all things are equal.
Well, they're also going to at least, split time, right?
Right.
Have to if she's there.
Is she allowed to go down and play
work in.
JV, or the minute she's playing varsity, she's varsity?
She's stuck on varsity, I think, so she had that a couple of games on Saturday, which I went up and watched. She started the first half for varsity. So she started for varsity. Planned subs. Somebody else came in and started the second half.
Right.
She sat the first half of JV. and then started the second half of JV. Varsity lost a total of 2-1.
Okay.
Tegan gave up a pen.
Okay. Well, what you gonna do there?
It was she was sold short on a back pass. She did hesitate. She could have been out quicker. The attacker had more impetus in terms of initiative to get there. And Tegan ended up just kind of pushing her off of the path of the ball.
So penalty and
she couldn't decide. She looked like she was shaping her body to go down. Slowed her down, ended up standing up and extending both arms.
Right.
And just kind of shoving.
Yeah, we got to work on her
the
coming
girl
out and learn how to go.
Yeah. And they have a goalkeeper coach
on
varsity.
Good.
She is going to get some.
That's important. I love that.
Yeah, focus training in training. But she got both hands to the pen.
Oh, okay.
That she gave up. She guessed right, and she got both hands to it. It was one of those. She dove too flat, so her push hit the inside of the post when she tried to push the ball wide and ended up nestling in the back of the net.
Okay.
But she got both fucking hands to it. She needs to strengthen her wrists a bit. She needs to do some push-ups. That's absolutely true. She started preseason only being able to do one push-up. Now she can do 4.
There we go.
So we're working on getting a little stronger, focusing on the right areas, especially for a goalkeeper, and she should be fine.
The finger
in a few
wrist
months,
squeezers, those.
I have them. I have them.
Just tell her to sit on the couch and just sit there the entire time you're watching any TV and just do that.
Exactly right.
And while you're doing it, do circles with your wrist as well while you're doing.
And we've got like Carly's got the kind of calisthenic weights, the 3 5-pound weights.
Oh, so you can take those.
Doing the wrists and that'd be huge for her.
Wrist,
yeah.
Yep. Good.
It's just getting her off the mark with it, but no, it was excellent.
All right, poker.
So Saturday was the final table for the league that I do with Dave.
Yep. And you were hosting it this time too.
I hosted it this time. I made a phenomenal braised beef.
Nice, congrats.
Oh, it was absolutely fucking delicious. That is going in regular rotation in my house now. I'm getting very good at that.
Good.
The meat I couldn't even pick it up out of the Dutch oven under its own weight.
Oh, fantastic.
It was falling apart to that extent.
Oh,
it was
wonderful.
So fucking good. And but this time I did them in a very kind of pseudo French broth. You know, kind of the normal, demi and butter and with no flour, so it doesn't truly thicken, but it's a little thick than a soup broth.
Because all that beef fat makes it thicker.
And I do it with a couple of soup bones in there to get that marrow as well.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah.
Make it a little richer. But I put those in the in a crock pot to just stay warm, and then did sliders with them.
Oh, very good.
So I just put slider buns next to it and a little thing of cut chives. Mate.
Good. Congrats.
So that bread soaks up the broth a little bit. Oh, it was fucking delicious. It was almost like a French dip, really, with more tender meat. Anyway, so we have the final table. I finished Bubble Boy. We do top 8, make the final table from our league season. We pay top 3. $5 from every player is skimmed off every week for the league pot, which is the final table pot, basically.
Right.
That was for a total of $1,455. First place won over $850. Second place was over $300 and change. And then last place was about $200.
Okay. Cool.
Roughly. And then we tipped the dealer a little bit, which was Rob.
Yep.
Our boy Rob showed up and did that. Regular, obviously, contributor that you all know. What made it worse was I was drawing dead. So flop came and it was like 4 king queen. I had queen jack offsuit, but I had queen jack. I loved my kicker.
Yeah.
And I loved that I had an overcard to the 2 pair.
Right.
So I was the aggressor and bet on the flop anyway. Wanting to represent, maybe I had a high king.
Right. That you got a pair of kings.
Right.
That, or you're representing that you have a set. Maybe you have a set of 4s.
Exactly.
But you have a set. You have a set, or you have high pair.
He thought about it. He called. okay. Turn came, was a jack. So I got top 2 pair. And I initially put him on a high king.
Yeah.
Especially since he only called me.
Right.
I put him on a high king, maybe king queen, which I would have been fine with. At least I would have still been alive.
Right.
With a potential boat opportunity.
Right.
Anyway, didn't happen. Obviously, because I got knocked out. He shoves. I call.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking he's got ace king. He thinks he's gold. I bet, and he raised me with a shove.
Right.
He's also chip leader at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought there may have been a bully aspect to this.
Yeah, could have been.
So I called. We flip. He's got pocket kings. Even if I get boated,
it's over.
He's got a better boat.
It's over.
Because he's got trip kings.
It's over. Yeah.
So even if my boat comes, even if a queen came, he's got kings over queens. I've got queens over jacks. He's got me. If a jack comes, same thing. Bang. I've got jacks over queens. He's got kings over jacks.
What you're looking for there on the flop is you're hoping that he pushes over
Folds.
your, or if he doesn't fold, right? He bets over you. You then know he's sitting on a set of kings.
Yeah.
You know he's sitting on a set of
He did not.
kings.
He put a nice bet out that I then shoved on.
Yeah.
So annoying. He did think about it for a while though, but it was a bit annoying. We finally got done playing the cash game about 2:45 or so. We started cashing people out, and then, as is tradition, Trevor and I ended up at live. That did no go so well for me.
No go so good, huh?
I got sucked out on the river by a guy that was falling asleep at the table.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and there was no reason he should have been in the hand. They had to wake him up to bet twice. I'm surprised the hand wasn't void and they kicked him out.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, and that sucked a lot. And I just Ubered home and left Trevor there. And then he texted me about 2 p.m. and was like, "Hey, you left, right?" And I was like, "Yeah. What are you doing?" And he was like, "No, I've been home. Got home about 9 a.m. I left with about $945." And I was like, "Fuck you."
At least somebody won.
Yeah, I was mad.
Yeah, just not you.
It annoyed me. So that happened. But it was, all in all, it was a great night. We had a good time. I walked in the house at 6:20 in the morning. Carly was lovely enough to let me sleep until about 12:15.
It was kind of her.
And then I was able to attempt to start during Avery's second nap, watch some highlights. But I was unable to keep my eyes open to write the notes for
I can imagine
our podcast. So I had to do a lot of that today, to be honest.
You called me on Sunday, and I saw your call, and I just didn't answer it because I'm in bed. I was surprisingly not that hungover. Probably just because I was just drinking a bunch of whiskey the whole night,
Yeah.
you know.
I didn't know. I was like, I even thought to myself, I wonder if he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because you always answer the phone, you always call me back.
Okay.
So about 4 hours after my initial phone call, I was like, I hope everything's all right. That motherfucker never called me back.
Yeah, I was hurting. I was so fucking sore.
Spoiler alert, he was not okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go ahead and get into fantasy. Mel, why don't you tell us what's going on with fantasy?
All right, so I have tallied it up. I've got my spread. Oh, no, not to go away. All right, got my spreadsheet wins out and 5 million windows up for this shit. Starting with Houston's league.
I love the clap.
What are you calling your league, Houston?
It's DUFS Big Sam's division.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not going to be Graham's gang or any shit like that.
Awesome.
We're official.
It's
Awesome.
gang.
All right.
Gang.
So, Big Sam's division. Pond Commander did really well.
The Pone Commander.
Then put an accent aigu.
I'm not. You know it. You live with me. You're now just doing it to be an asshole, so stop it.
The Pone Commander, Sam Houston, did some great leadership this week with 49 points. It's not the top score, but it is a top 3 score on his team. But he had some good competition with William Burton, who also brought it high. Dan Burnett to the ground, 39 points.
Just want to say that number 1 overall, Jurgen Scheinlarson did score, and that ended up being why I won.
I love that meme. The black dude that has that smug look on his face with his pointing to his temple.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
somebody did that to you.
Yes. Be like, Big Sam looking like a genius.
Yeah, week 2, Jurgen Strand Larson.
Yep.
Look at this guy.
Yep. Look at this guy.
No.
Now, mind you, I would have probably scored 90 points if I had gotten Erling Haaland.
Yeah, no shit.
Now, some of the more boring matches would be House, the Bacon, Alan's team, 30 points, beating Tup Wild, only got 28 points. There was a nail biter. How very Fulhamish of you, Jay's team, 33 points. Young Cole Freshness, 34 points for Hiram's team.
Jay's pissed off because he's already lost 2 by 1 point.
Yeah, I saw that.
FC Fredneck, Keith Kern, 45 points. Original Benson, though, not too bad. 30 points on that one. Now, we had a couple ass kickers this week. One would be John Benson. Mel's a hater. Cold-blooded. That's Nicole's team.
Yep.
Cold-blooded.
Yep, cold-blooded.
Poor Cole, 24 points. Mel's a hater, 43. And so Cole is your big loser of the week.
Damn.
By the way, number 1 in the league currently. Number 1 overall international man of mystery. Mel's a fucking hater. And second place in our league, yours truly. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Now, the other
What's his point differential?
The other ass kicking of the week was Baines on Toast, 52 points, versus Mark, 29 points. So Mark had the second lowest score. Baines had the second highest score, which means Justin, great score with 44 points. Damn shame that whatever Lars' team name is came in first. Now, Livin' Saliba Loca is Justin's team. Lars' team is WGUAFC. Best I can figure out is that it's a tech file thing. So is that like a really nerdy IT joke? Or
WG
What
could
are we
be
missing?
Willie Notto.
I'm just saying.
I'll have to ask Lars.
Just saying. There's a question, but 50.
Lars, stop scrubbing your balls right now as you're listening to us and
What is
tell us.
not a question is Lars being your top scorer of the week. Sam Houston with 55 points.
WGAFFC?
Yeah.
Who gives a
WGAU.
fuck FC?
Okay, could be.
AU?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
So
Who
as
gives an
Houston
underscore?
said, Mel's a hater, Pone Commander, FC Fredneck, How's the Bacon, and Dan Burn It to the Ground is his top 5.
Very good. On to Mr.
Now, on to Mr. Graham's team. Graham, I'm just going to go ahead and open up with your game because you were on it like white and rice, brought 33 points, which is great, but you might want to check in on Scott. 10 hot. Oh, actually spit on the screen when I did that.
Nice.
12 points. There's no joke. That's the joke. Go to party like it's 1999. Christian's team, 39 points. Easily beating Good SWAT, 21 points. Kevin, you're lucky that Scott only got 12 because 21 would have put you in the bottom for the week. Army of Darkness, Jim Willis, 34. Nailbiter, Simon Odegaardians, 35 points, squeaking out by 1. Really wasn't much of a competition between PSR champions David Geckel's team, 28 to 51. Banter AFC 11.
So who beat
Jeet's
Jeet
team.
out? 51.
Well, you know what? Jeet is your second highest score. I will get to your highest score at the bottom, but yeah, it wasn't Jeet this week, but close enough. Mama's Just Killman, James, 44. That is obviously not your highest. Beating Middle River FC. Your big gun, JB, brought it with 50, but only 50. Beating Lindsay, 39. Hellman's Mayonnaise versus Lavender Ven by the Ver.
That would be Brody, right?
Yeah, did I do that right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Because his other name got banned.
Lavender Ven by the Ver. Arver, 55 points, which means Hellman's Mayonnaise 42. Which means
Lovin' Vander Ven by the river.
Alan Brody, you are the top scorer.
I
for
live in a
Graham's
van down
team
by the
with
river.
55 points, but Lars is the top scorer for Houston's team with 55 points. So there is no top scorer of the week. And
No, each
so-
of them are top scorers in their own league.
Yes, but not versus you guys once against each other. Like Jeet overall kicked everybody's ass last week. Let's remind everybody of that. So Sam Graham, How are you feeling about your competition this week?
Doing very well.
You're feeling very good?
Yeah,
Even with somebody getting 12 points?
Even with Scott getting 12
Yeah, but
points.
that's fine.
you're
I've
still
got
feeling
a
good.
win in terms of top scorer, and then I've got a tie in terms of top scorer. I'm feeling very good.
How are you feeling about yours, Sam?
I feel like we've made a little bit of strides and came back some.
You know what? Graham, 521 points. Last week it was 503. That's a really good score. But it ain't 535.
How did we only? I don't understand what you're saying. How did we only score 509?
521 points.
That's your total points for the
That's
week.
your
Total points for the week.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant we increased 9 points.
So
That
your
doesn't math.
overall score. So this week, head to head, Houston wins.
I gotcha. Okay.
So Houston is now at 1,017, and you're at 1,024. So
Well, it looks like I'm still winning.
close.
Barely.
Still winning.
It's 36 more weeks to go.
Did Fulham beat Leicester 2-1 or 6-0? What's the difference?
I heard. Very good. Doesn't matter.
This thing
Stop.
just happened. I stopped at the gas station to buy some Reese's peanut butter cups. Ended up buying some beer. Moral of the story, I like titties.
Disclaimer, everybody. I am just drinking whiskey. I am not drinking beer because the last thing I need to have happen is the gout foot fucking flaring up while I have another foot that's just
That can't work.
non-operational.
Yeah.
So there will be no beer in my life for a while right now until this gets healed.
Yeah.
I'll drink whiskey. I'll still have a drink in my hand on every show, but it's going to be little bit less. So, Mr. Graham, what beer you got there?
Mel and I revisited an old favorite, Fat Orange Cat Baby Kittens, which is just fantastic. It's a 6.5% by volume hazy New England. It is just delicious. There's a lot of juice to it. There's a lot of pine to it. It's good in all the right places. And not so much alcohol that'll knock your socks off, but enough that it lets you know you're not drinking light beer no more.
Yeah, very good.
Cole brought those over, and so I'm going to put the rest of them in the back of the fridge here for the next time she comes over.
Cool.
Yep.
Very good. Mel, what are you drinking there?
I am doing another Miko Lime Seltzer. This one is lime seltzer.
Yeah, Graham wasn't a huge fan of the.
I'm not as big a fan of the Mikos.
cucumber.
This
It's
is
wearing
one of
on
the
you.
last ones. It's got the same problem that the cucumber does. This one's got a little too much sweetness to it, not like the Ornatas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the lime, I almost taste a little bit more rind with the lime, like the lime skin. Yeah.
It tries too hard, I think.
Yeah.
And then you're having another Flavor Town, right?
I am having a Flavor Town. We did do this one last week. This is the Fitty.
I shared the other ones with Cole. Loved them.
Oh, so good. This is the Fitty Fitty, the hard tea and lemonade, Arnold Palmer kind of mix.
So I was
fantastic.
over at Angel Share because
That whiskey room.
they finally have the whiskey room all done, and they're going to start doing tasting soon. And
That's a liquor store near us, by the way, Angel Share.
Wanted to make sure that Sam got his opportunity at a bottle of Milestone, which he took, and a couple of cases on the for the cider barrel. Although the cider barrel, I cannot call it the Maryland Collective. That's an Angel Shares thing, and then Justin knows he stole it, but he used it, right? They're like, call it anything but the Collective. That's our thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'll call it something. The Maryland Club, whatever.
Huh.
The Maryland Club barrel. But the Collective thing was their thing.
I thought he was just part of it and decided he could use the moniker.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's all in fun. They don't give a shit. They just, other than don't have it say Collective, just because it's really kind of our thing. And I was like, okay, no problem. Done.
Part of the reason that I did I tell you about today's events?
No.
At all of you?
not.
Yeah.
No.
I called you about them.
Mm-hmm.
There's some news
Okay.
I need to share
Okay. What's
with
up?
you. Not now.
Oh, okay.
This is private
Got
business.
it. Involving my brand?
Everyone's brands, everything, the whole store.
Okay. Very good. Got it.
I would say this is above injury times pay grade.
It is.
It is. Very
This is
much
like
so.
actual business shit we have to talk about.
But with the Flavor Town, they had the 6-packs, not the 8-pack that I had bought. The 6-pack was $12.99.
Nice.
Yeah. I told Sam, I
Fucking
was
let's
like,
go.
I was like,
Mel, we're in.
I said, treating it
Are
for
you
what
fucking
it is.
kidding me?
I said, treating it for what it is. It's a canned cocktail. It's pretty fucking good. And he goes,
fucking good.
and Sam was like, yeah, they were sneaky good. Like, yeah, really fucking good.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous because it's Guy Fieri.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, Ibs are finally on the board. It was with a draw, though. They drew 2-2 with Dundee, and they sit in 11th place, so not dead last, so they're not in the playoff for demotion.
That's actually a poor result for them, though, I think. I don't think Dundee's very good.
Dundee's further up the table than they are right now.
Well, now they are, yeah.
But next is on the road to last place Kilmarnock, who is the 12th place team right now. So that's where we sit.
That's positive. We'll see. That'll be a telling tale. What happens next weekend?
All right, let's go ahead and get into this, Mr. Graham. We start the day with Arsenal hosting Brighton.
I think Arsenal win. I really don't see a way that Brighton can hurt us. They will have a chance or two. I just see us being able defensively over the last 2 seasons being so good, just being able to control this threat as well. Even Manchester United almost contained this threat. You know what I'm saying?
For the sake of time, I didn't bother bringing it up because it was in Oso, but I'll say it very quickly and briefly here. I'm still not sold on Brighton. All 5 of the goals they have scored so far this season have all been glaring defensive mistakes by their opponents.
I'd say 4 of the 5, but yeah.
Yeah,
I tend to agree with you. It's not like that one was spectacular, in my opinion, but I thought they deserved 1 goal against you.
Yeah, but still, all 3 of them were letdowns.
Yeah, the 2 were glaring fucking just walk right through mistakes.
Maybe you give the one on the Matoma, but Matoma was still wide open on the back post.
Yeah.
Wide open on the back post.
I guess that's fair.
So for me, you aren't going to give them those kind of opportunities.
Especially at home.
Hence, you win.
Especially
That's
at home.
Why you win.
Yeah.
They'll play you tough. They're a very good team, but so far that team lives off of opportunities. You're not a team that's going to give them opportunities.
No, and Hutzler, the coach, is only 31.
31, yeah.
Apparently, I heard this stat today, which I thought was quite interesting. James Milner, when he made his Premier League debut, his coach was 9 years old.
Yeah. Yep. No shit.
Isn't that fucking wild?
I think I saw a movie about that.
All right, so keeping it rolling. There are 5 midday matches. First, it is Southampton heading to Brentford. For me, this is Brentford all day, even though Brentford's defense is meh at best.
Yeah, and I didn't get into this point on the main show because we ran out of time to talk about it. I think Brentford and part of the Liverpool game issue. Now, granted, Liverpool are a good team and all that, blah, 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 blah. You need Wisa. If you're not going to have Tony play, if you're going to keep him in the shop window and keep him safe to sell him, Wisa and Mbeumo have got to step up and step up consistently, and it's going to fall on their shoulders, period. Yeah. And I thought they had a couple of chances at Liverpool that they should have put away and didn't. Mm-hmm. Final pass was shit. Shot was wide. Kind of whatever the situation was. Yeah. I think they could have done better with a couple of those and been a bit more in the game. Yeah. And that's what I would worry for them about. However, Southampton aren't very good.
Yeah,
I don't think they're very good. I'm not sold on them.
Southampton could score a goal here, though, just simply because Brentford's defense really has not looked good.
It's fair, but Flecken's back there.
Yeah.
And Flecken, even against Liverpool, Flecken made some really good saves again.
Right.
They lost the game. He had that 9-save game in.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they may have drew it, but
lost 3-1 to City, and he made 9 saves.
He made 9 saves or whatever it was. So I think they've got a good goalkeeper. I think they have a good base kind of core spine.
But like you say with the keeper, if you make 10 saves, but it's on 11 shots on goal, you still lose 2-0 if your team doesn't score you goals. So I'm not sold on them being fully out of the woods yet, just because I don't think that they're a complete team. I think they have some very good individual pieces, but I don't see them being a complete team.
Right, yeah, no, I hear you.
Ipswich look to get on the board as they host Fulham, and they won't.
I don't think they will either. I think Fulham look fairly tidy. Yeah. Muniz also didn't mention on the main show. Should have had a couple of goals in that game as well. the way he started taking his chances last season when he first came into the team, I would have expected him, the header especially, to be able to put that, to bury that, put that away, put it a yard wide max. But I honestly, I think he opens his account because Ipswich's defense and Muric, I just don't see it. They wasted a bunch of money on that cunt.
Yeah, I don't tend to disagree. Mel's Villa head to the King Power to face Leicester. Somebody going to hurt real bad. I think this is a 3 or 4-0 win.
I think this is
for Villa.
So part of my bet was Villa to win over 1.5, and I think Ollie Watkins going to open his account here, maybe bag 2.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all.
Mel, you have anything on your Villa? I think y'all are fucking easy for this game.
Yeah, she's just kind of keeping it rolling
with it.
All right. Everton already desperate for a performance. Welcome the Cherries. It all depends on who they have.
I think you're in trouble, man.
Who's fucking healthy?
I think you're in trouble, and this is the game you need.
I don't think we're in trouble yet. I really don't, and I think it is the first 2 games were not easy teams, and we were missing very, very important pieces, and I think that changes quite a bit.
But aren't you still missing those pieces?
That's, I imagine, though, that we will have chances against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth isn't always very ruthless at scoring, and we've beaten them the last few times they've been in our building. And when we beat them the last time, it was right after we had a terrible fucking start to the season, and it'll be September.
All right. Well, I hope that happens for you. Yeah. I really do. Again, the main show kind of goes to shit.
Actually, no, it'll be August. It'll be August 31st.
The main show kind of goes to shit if you're not in the league anymore.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I hope you stay up.
The final match of the middays has Wolves heading to Forest. I think Wolves get off the bump here. I think because they've got the pieces, and I'm not sold that Forest does. For me, this is like a 2-0 to Wolves kind of game.
Now, I did not include this in my bet, even though I probably will bet this game live. I can't really get past a draw here.
Okay, good enough.
To be honest, I think Forest have enough impetus to score. Right? Wolves defensively look a bit shaky. Obviously, Cunha's now on the score sheet. After last weekend, he's got some confidence from that. They've got a couple of the pieces that are working. Chan's doing well. Wang, He-Chan Wang. He's doing well the last few. I see Wolves probably scoring. Yeah. But defensively, I really do. I worry about them.
Feel like it's a 1-1?
Well, yeah, and without Max Kilman's presence, right? He never does anything spectacular, Max Kilman. Although this West Ham, the jaunt he went on to find the pass for Bowen to score was great. That's not really his normal game.
Right.
He's more of a steady Eddie.
Yeah.
Just defensive kind of quote-unquote perfection.
Right.
You can't really beat him, Decent one-on-one, good in the air. Strong, balanced, can pick a pass less than 35 yards.
Yep.
He's fine. He's a canny operator.
Yeah.
Right? I think they miss that a lot, and I think Chris Wood could eat that center defense up for fucking lunch.
All right, fair enough. For me, it's Wolves easily. Primetime has West Ham to host.
It's at the City Ground.
West Ham to host Man City. I'm with you. I think this is an easy win for City, but I think West Ham puts a goal or 2 in. Yeah. I see like a 4-2, a 3-1.
Exactly, and that's where I put the over 2.5 in. I was like, this will get odds. This is happening, right? West Ham do leave themselves open from time to time. City obviously are very good at exploiting that space.
Yeah, but City also leaves themselves open on time to time on a counterattack because their defenders get a little too greedy.
But you also now have Fulkrug. Who is Michail Antonio 2.0, right? He's the people striker.
Yeah.
Really. He's the hardworking kind of, grafter that had a job till he was 27 and then made it to football.
Right.
Which is why he's so loved in Germany, right? But it's another kind of West Ham signing. It's a club mentality signing. It's a club.
It's a club of
working
dock
man's
workers.
man.
Yeah, it's a club of dock workers.
Exactly. So I fancy them to get a goal.
Yeah. I have 1 or 2. It's either 3-1 or 4-2 for me, but City certainly win easily. 2 matches open on Sunday. We start with Spurs traveling to Newcastle. I'm gonna say
no idea what to do here.
I'm gonna say Spurs only because Newcastle is having a hard time scoring.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do here at all, really. Do we get the free-flowing Spurs, or was that just Everton fucking up? Do we get kind of stupid, stifled Spurs from week 1 against Leicester where they got in their own heads?
Yeah.
Do we...
Against Southampton.
Which Newcastle do we get?
Yeah.
You know,
it's hard to say that one.
What do we do here?
And then for the other game at 9 in the morning, we have a London derby with Chelsea at home to Palace. I think Palace are low key starting in just as bad of a way as Everton are. The only difference is that they didn't get blown out, and I think this week they are.
Yeah, the way that Chelsea played, I mean, you got to admire the finishing. Even though it was the same goal 3 times, it was pretty easy to pick out what he was going to do. They just didn't pick out what he was going to do. But if you give Cole Palmer that much space, you're fucked. The best thing Palace can do here is man mark him. You stay with Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Don't give him a chance to create anything. Yeah. And we're just going to burn this position on the field, and it's going to be 10v10 after that.
You have like Wharton or Decore, and that's just their job.
That's your only job.
Is you
fucking stay
Palmer.
with Jefferson Lerma is a perfect candidate to give somebody some shit.
Yeah.
Why not use him, right, in this game? But ultimately, the way Chelsea performed last time out, I know we don't praise them very much on the show at all, but they absolutely have an opportunity to kick on and gain some confidence, get Enzo Maresca a bit more assured of himself as well, being a first-time Premier League manager, second-time number 1.
Yeah.
You know, only last season at Leicester was he ever the head coach.
Yeah, precisely.
So, and he's dealt, I think, with the transfer kind of craziness at Chelsea pretty well. He seems to be keeping people happy. He's already bombed out fucking half the squad. So he's narrowed down his focus on who he's training with, and they seem to be buying in. So I don't really see a way past Chelsea for Palace in this game.
All right.
At all.
And I completely agree. I think Palace is going to be some problems, especially if they end up selling a couple more players. That team goes from being really impressive and good to what the fuck they
relegation candidates.
Yeah.
Say they sell Ezra. Say somebody comes in 80 million.
Yeah. And then they don't buy anybody.
And they have Ezra gone. And they've also got Anderson and Gahey gone.
Yeah.
They're fucked, man.
Yeah, doesn't matter that you
That's
got
their whole team.
Back. Doesn't matter that Warrington turned out to be a really good young player.
Wharton, yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. We finished the weekend with the Northwest Derby as Liverpool travel to the Theatre of Dreams to face Manchester United.
Liverpool win. It's going to be dicey because it's a derby. You can always throw kind of form out in a derby.
Yep, exactly.
Manchester United, besides the 1-7-0 over the last 15 Northwest derbies, have held in the game well and sometimes come out on top.
Yep.
I think this is going to be much of the same. I think it's going to be dicey for both sides. I like this new look, kind of calm, collected Liverpool versus the heavy metal football. I think they're showing a different side of themselves. As we said earlier in the week, it is the same sort of Liverpool side, personnel-wise. So do they have the heavy metal in them? Yeah. I'm sure they do. I'd like to see them react to getting punched in the face. I would love to see United score first in this game and see what Liverpool do, and we'll see what their character's like.
I was going to say
under this manager.
I think United does score first. I think it's 1-1 at the half. I think Liverpool scores early in the second to make it 2-1. And then Liverpool go away at the end in extra time and win 3-1.
Okay.
And but the score line isn't indicative of the game actually
of the
being
game itself.
Very close.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
But I see a very poised, professional Liverpool team, and I can't see where a very disorganized Manchester United team is going to be able to handle that. And also, I wonder, is Marcus Rashford on that team by the end of the week?
Fair.
Because the minute Højlund comes back, Rashford ain't seeing the
probably
pitch
benched.
again.
Yeah. But the other thing I see in this game, if I'm a betting man, right, and I'll probably put, now that I'm thinking about it, $5 on it, Jota to score in this game.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I say that is the obvious 2 goals against Brighton, both of which had poor marking for poachers. And then also
Jota loves to get himself in and around it.
In and around those spaces and find that shoulder to peel off of. And he's great with his head.
Yeah,
just in general. So the cross coming in and the more kind of composed nature of Liverpool now plays into a player that's good with his head and that can find those spaces in general. As long as the person delivering the ball can find the space himself, Jota should have a fairly easy time of it, to be honest with you.
I very much agree.
And so I might actually throw $5 on Jota to score in this game.
Not a bad shot at all.
Which I think might happen.
Alrighty, Mr. Graham, that's going to do it. Anything final to say?
No, nothing else is going on really. We're gonna, I think, over the next couple of weeks. There's been some big fixtures these first couple of weeks of the season. You had City, Chelsea, right? Which for Arsenal is a disappointment that it didn't come when Chelsea found a little bit of this form, right?
Right.
You're going to see these first couple weeks, I think, are going to toss up some weird ones. And we're going to find out a lot about those, especially at the top, very quickly.
Yeah.
As you say, this we just previewed this weekend with the Northwest Derby. I mean, Manchester United, you would hope for them challenging for the top 6.
Yeah. I don't think they are.
Liverpool obviously has been one of the best 3 clubs in the Premier League for the last 9 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, man. We're going to learn a lot over these first few weeks. It's going to be really interesting.
Absolutely. All right. Till next week, everybody.
Good night.
Almost right on.